A delivery driver is charged with DUI after a truck crashes into a Rapid City building. Governor Larry Roden sheds more light on how South Dakota agencies would be working with ICE. And after South Dakota's first measles case of the year is discovered, what you need to know about the disease. Your news starts now.
From Skyline Drive, this is KOTA Territory News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Jack Cottle. After a recent surge in measles cases across the U.S. and the first confirmed case being reported in South Dakota on Monday, there's concern the cases could pile up in the Mount Rushmore state. According to the CDC, as of May 22nd, there's been more than 1,000 confirmed measles cases in at least 31 states. The majority of the reported cases have come in people who are either children, unvaccinated, or have an unknown vaccination status. According to the South Dakota Immunization Information System, as of last November, several counties, including Fall River County, have a rate lower than 70% for 20-month-old children receiving the MMR vaccine.
Those communities where vaccination rates are low, we're trying to educate, we're trying to answer questions. People have good reasons why they've chosen not to vaccinate. I try to bring it back to the reminder that we all have the same goal. We want to keep kids and families safe, and we're always going to do that with the best education and the best conversations.
Marsland says measles is incredibly contagious, as health experts estimate the U.S. would need a 95% vaccination rate or better to prevent outbreaks from taking place.
Sadly enough, in our country, we have dropped below that, somewhere in the 91 to 93% range, and that is the most likely cause and what we're worried about as far as why the outbreaks keep happening.
Marsland said measles is 3 times more contagious than the flu, COVID, and Ebola. She adds after someone is infected with measles, common side effects include pneumonia, ear infections, diarrhea, and croup. Well, we saw plenty of rain showers this morning across KOTA territory, but how much rain did we pick up around the area? Meteorologist Ryan Larmew is in the First Alert Weather Center with the answer, and you always have the answers, don't you?
Always have the answer. If you need the answer, come to me. And look at this. We got rain totals behind me now, Jack. It's some good news. We needed all the moisture we can get, and we got some today. Estimated rainfall totals from our radar is 0.72 in Rapid City, which is some nice rain. Custer almost saw an inch according to the estimation, but everyone got in on the action today. Those 0 markers on Gillette and Buffalo, they are because they're outside of the radar's range for the estimated rainfall totals. We are still tracking some showers and storms this evening as we're seeing one thunderstorm complex just to the south of Buffalo. That's going to be making its way towards the Black Hills over the next 2 or 3 hours, weakening as it does approach. As we head throughout the rest of the evening, these temperatures in the 50s and 60s begin to drop. Rapid City, we do stay in the 60s, and that's our almanac. Well, it's not supposed to be coming up, but we will see the 60s and 50s take over for the rest of the evening. I'll be planning out everything in your forecast coming up.
Thank you, Ryan. Rapid City police say a drunk FedEx delivery driver crashed into the sewing center on Knollwood Drive yesterday afternoon. Police identified 36-year-old Zachary Mouse as the driver and arrested him for DUI and reckless driving. Police say Mouse had a blood alcohol content of 0.382. The marks show Mouse allegedly veered off of Knollwood Drive while traveling east, cut through a grassy area west of the building, sideswiped a pine tree, and impacted the southwest corner of the sewing center. Now, this wasn't the first time an impaired driver crashed into the sewing center. 9 years ago, a man police say was huffing duster struck the building in a similar location. The sewing center announced last month they'll be closing soon. They're still open for business until they sell everything off. Governor Larry Roden has shared more details on the work he's authorized the Highway Patrol to do with ICE. KOTA Territory's Blake Trolley has more.
Governor Roden recently announced that the South Dakota Highway Patrol has obtained a memorandum of agreement to work with U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Roden says he believes Highway Patrol will be largely helping with processing.
When you have ICE officers that are on the ground doing the work, it consumes a great deal of their time once somebody's caught to process them.
Roden submitted the request last month shortly after he visited South Dakota National Guard troops on the southern border in Texas.
The trip was very informational, and also, you know, I thought it was worth the trip down there just to say hi to our troops and thank them for their service. You know, that's quite a dedication, quite a commitment and sacrifice we ask of our soldiers to spend a year of their life helping to protect our borders.
Roden said on site he realized the enormous task of securing the border and the effort of coordinating troops, local law enforcement, and border authorities. Attorney General Marty Jackley is currently working to finalize a partnership between the Division of Criminal Investigation and ICE. Jackley's partnership will be exclusively for cases involving violent criminals and drug dealers. Jackley also paid the southern border a recent visit. Jackley said, "What I witnessed on the border reinforces my belief the additional 287G federal authority will strengthen DCI's ability to take immediate action on illegal immigrants who are violent offenders or dealing drugs in our state." In Rapid City, Blake Trolley, KOTA Territory News.
There are currently more than 2,400 independent bookstores across the United States. That's according to the American Booksellers Association, and that number is now rising with the newest indie bookstore in Rapid City. Monarch Books and Boutique opened Saturday and is owned and operated by Caitlin and Andrew Neeson. The husband and wife duo said they picked up reading a lot more in the last few years and wanted to create a space for people to find connections through books and events. Monarch Books and Boutique isn't the first independent store to make its way to the community, but it wasn't the competition from other small business owners that made the Neesons nervous to open.
I had this in the works when Barnes & Noble had announced that they were opening, and so that made us really nervous. And you know, I own my own private practice, but delving into the retail world is all something that's completely new to us. And to Andy, he's going to be the one that's down here full time, and he hasn't really done retail before, so it's just a big adventure for us.
She added she hopes to create an environment where people feel welcome and remembered, and you can visit the new bookstore Tuesday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sundays 10 a.m. through 4 p.m. A Stevens softball coach has a lot to be thankful for these days, both on and off the field. We'll meet her and hear her story when we come back on KOTA Territory News at 5:30. For some people, sports puts life in perspective, but for one Stevens Raiders coach, the reverse could be true. Noah Miller has the story.
Forgive me if I get emotional. I literally cannot control my emotions.
It's coaches like Amy that play an important role in a team's success. For Stevens, it's the pitcher's success.
For me, pitching is a big deal, and to see that drop ball move or to see that rise ball actually rise and to see the smile on their face is probably the most rewarding thing ever.
Coaching isn't easy. Neither is winning. A team that's competed all year is just now 3 games away from a state championship.
Would you call winning state a miracle?
It would be a huge miracle, but a huge accomplishment too that I think is totally feasible.
Winning a state championship is a miracle, but it wouldn't be the first miracle Amy has been a part of.
My boys, Jack and Barrett, they're 9 years old now, and they're actually triplets. And then my little boy Leighton, he was 1 pound 6 ounces, and he passed away in the NICU. And so they are really the inspiration behind what I'm doing now.
When Amy found out she was pregnant with triplets, you can only imagine the emotions.
The surgeon was so kind and waited to go to surgery until I got to see Jack, just in case things didn't go well. Back in Rapid, Barrett, he was my low-key 24-weeker, just kind of keeping it chill for a while. But then we couldn't get him extubated, so he wasn't able to just continually breathe on his own, so we had to replace the breathing tube and whatnot. And so ultimately what it boiled down to is he had a little opening, it's called a PDA, that was getting pretty big in his heart, and so that breathing piece was really hard for him, and so he was also flown over to Sioux Falls to have that little PDA ligated or clipped in his heart.
Jack and Barrett are brothers that will share a special bond forever. After being life-flighted, weeks in the NICU, and a heart surgery, they were given just a 15% chance to live.
They had heart surgery right next to each other, so it's kind of a fun little bonding moment. They had it right there in the NICU room, and had their PDAs ligated, and then it was somewhat smooth sailing from there.
After the longest 37 weeks of Jack's life and 111 days of Barrett's, they were finally able to go home.
Life is hard, and there are always learning moments. There's always something that's going to knock you down. There's always somebody and something that will bring you back up, though. And so sometimes it's just a matter of finding it through the weeds and continuing to put one step forward.
Whether it be one step or one pitch, The Merle family has taken millions of steps in life, and the only step left is the state championship.
Sunshine and stronger winds are on the way for KOTA territory. Meteorologist Ryan Larmew plans out the weekend and beyond. Your accurate First Alert forecast is next.
Now, the First Alert forecast with meteorologist Ryan Larmew.
The sunshine's back out at our Golden West weather cam on Main Street in Rapid City, and those temperatures still on the chilly side. 59 degrees, still seeing a few raindrops falling from clouds that are directly overhead. The sun still shining from the Black Hills area onto downtown. Now we are seeing temperatures across the region on the cooler side. Everyone has been below normal today. 58 over in Phillip, 51 in Porcupine, 61 though in Hot Springs, 56 in Gillette, 57 over in Sheridan. Zooming in now to the Black Hills. Spearfish and Belfouche also at the 57-degree mark. Sturgis is at 61 for one of the warm spots in the hills, along with Beulah, both at that 61-degree mark. Let's hop right into things. The latest update for the Drought Monitor. It's Drought Monitor Thursday, so we have the update for you. Severe drought in this orange color, clipping still parts of northeast Wyoming and southwestern South Dakota. Rapid City and the central and southern Black Hills still in the moderate drought, but the abnormally dry section here north of Rapid City, including the northern hills and the Wyoming hills, starting to diminish. Every update, that's some good news. With every drop of rain we get, the more it helps with the drought conditions across the area. Throughout the rest of the evening, we could see a few straggling showers around Rapid City around 7 o'clock, and then we dry out with partly cloudy skies still in the forecast. 50s are expected to continue through the rest of the evening. As we head throughout the rest of the night into tomorrow morning, we'll see temperatures drop all the way down to the mid-40s. A light jacket might be needed as you're heading out the door, but it's going to warm up quickly into the 60s by the time we're getting out and about for our Friday to end off our work week. But high temperatures tomorrow make it up there. We'll be in the 60s, upper 60s for Rapid City. We're partly sunny, 68 degrees. The clouds gradually clearing throughout the afternoon and evening. But by the weekend, we're seeing mostly sunny skies take over. We're also going to be breezy. Wind gust up to 30 miles an hour on Saturday. They increase on Sunday up to 40 miles an hour. Temperatures also going to be much warmer in the 80s for your Saturday. And then by Sunday, we're back in the 70s, just around average for this time of year. Sunshine continues for the weekend. It's going to be an absolutely gorgeous one to get out there. And that's what Futurecast is telling us for us here. For Friday afternoon, we could see a stray storm around the area. These are going to be few and far between. I think this model's overdoing it just a little bit. The best chance for those going to be in the Black Hills for us. But by Saturday, we're talking about sunshine by the afternoon, a stray storm in the south or on the South Dakota plains in northwestern South Dakota, and we could see some more rain showers overnight Saturday into Sunday morning. But by the time the sun rises on Sunday, sunshine starts to dominate in the forecast all the way through the evening. On Saturday, if you're heading out to the Crazy Horse Volksmarch, we're starting off in the 50s and then eventually making our way up to near the 70-degree mark by the afternoon and around lunchtime. Mostly sunny skies look to continue for the entirety of the Crazy Horse Volksmarch, which is some good news. Temperatures tonight, though, in the 40s and even a few spots in the 30s. 39 in Custer. We're partly cloudy with some areas could be seeing some fog, especially on the South Dakota plains. As we head throughout the day tomorrow, temperatures warm up. 60s likely in and around the Black Hills. 70s on the South Dakota plains on the extremities here of KOTA territory. We're going to be partly sunny throughout the day tomorrow with a stray storm possible. Those stray storms likely going to be around Deadwood throughout the afternoon, but temperatures rise back into the 70s and then continue that way for much of next week. 72 on Sunday, 76 on Monday, but then by the middle of next week, we're flirting with 90 on Wednesday, 88 for a high. We'll be right back after the break.
Happy dinner time, everybody. After racking up an impressive 14-3 record this season, the Stevens softball team is now focused on taking care of business at the state tournament in Sioux Falls. The Raiders are the 6th seed. This afternoon, they hit the diamond for a first-round matchup against Sioux Falls, Washington. Stevens gives a good effort, but comes up on the short end, falling by the score of 5-2. So the Raiders move into the consolation bracket where they'll face Sioux Falls O'Gorman tomorrow at 11 our time. The Knights fell to second-seeded Harrisburg today, 15-0. In other action at the AA State Softball Tournament, Sioux Falls Roosevelt gave top-seeded Lincoln a scare, but the Patriots held on to win 4-3. Jefferson also shut out Brandon Valley 3-0. nothing. The St. Thomas More girls golfers turned in quite a performance at this week's Class A state tournament. The Cavaliers finished with a two-day total of 685 to win the first team championship in program history by 5 strokes over Sioux Falls Christian. Riley Horning won the individual state title with a 2-round total of 157. Caitlin Strain finished in 3rd place with Amity Strand 25th. For their efforts, the STM golfers are our Gustafson Builders Athletes of the Week. Now, Strand is a junior, so she will be back to lead next year's team, and she just can't get enough of the sport.
I think that golf is just really relaxing, and I know it's a sport that you can play for a very long time. I think just being able to go out and practice and just putting your AirPods in and listening to music is very fun. And during season, playing with my teammates is also very fun. Especially just getting new girls every year. We've gotten quite a few, and we have a new junior this year. She's new and she's very good already. It's very fun to be out here with everyone. Yeah, I really like it.
The South Dakota State women's basketball team will be making a trip out to Rapid next season. The Jackrabbits will play Montana Saturday, November 15th at the Monument Summit Arena and mark the 2nd straight season a Jackrabbit Hoops team has played in Rapid City, as the men were in town last November. And let's jump on in for another edition of a Big Old Fish. And this evening, Karen Hebert is our featured angler. Karen reeled in this 6-pound northern pike out of a Stockade Lake. Congratulations, Karen, and best of luck in the rest of your fishing endeavors. Now, you too can be featured on a Big Old Fish. Just send us your picture by using the Submit Photos link at KOTATV.com. Make sure and give us the name of the person who caught the fish, what kind of fish it is, how big it is, and where it was caught. Get those pictures in, and we will get you on Big Old Fish. That was certainly a nice-looking northern pike. I tell you what, it's a great time to get out and do some fishing and get on Big Old Fish. Of course, it's a big day in the world of Legion baseball. The Veterans Classic is off and running at both Fitzgerald Stadium and at Pete Lean Field. One game already in the books concerning a local team. Sturgis got a win today, knocking off Gering 7-2. Now, the games at Pete Lean are running a little behind because of the rain. I'll have highlights tonight for you, Post 22 and Post 320, both playing tonight. NBA Finals here on ABC once we're done with the show, Jack.
And when we come back, we'll highlight another local group in this week's KOTA Cares. You're watching KOTA Territory News at 5:30.
Be sure to tune into KOTA Territory News at 6 on Fox. We'll tell you about a campaign South Dakota business owners want people to try.
We really want to encourage people to take care of this great place that we all love.
Plus, the White House announces new travel restrictions that will soon affect several countries. Those stories and more are tonight at 6 on Fox.
The Black Hills Center for Equality serves and advocates for the LGBTQ+ Two-Spirit community. They're committed to creating a safe, inclusive space for everyone in the community. This week's KOTA Cares, we're highlighting their efforts to promote equal access and improve the lives of people from all walks of life.
Black Hills Center for Equality was founded in 2008 with a mission to support LGBTQ+ Two-Spirit individuals and their family through outreach, connection, and inclusive resources. They host events like Youth Pride Prom, the Rainbow Run, Pride in the Park, and the annual Pride Parade, all designed to bring all people together in celebration and solidarity. Vice President of the Black Hills Center for Equality, Renee Hagelin, recalls how community support continues to grow across the state.
We were just shocked how many people came up to us and said, "We're coming to Pride in the Park," or "How can we be a part of your parade?" And, you know, that's a big reach from Rapid City to Sioux Falls. And so the excitement is contagious. You can't help yourself but be excited. And it's promising to see so many communities celebrating Pride in South Dakota.
Black Hills Center for Equality strive for a world where safety, acceptance, and respect are guaranteed for all. In the face of ongoing challenges, Hagelin says standing up and speaking out matters now more than ever.
When you're silent in the face of oppression, you're actually lending your voice to the oppressor. And so when you see oppression and injustice towards LGBTQ communities, you don't have to address the oppressor, you just have to stand with the person who's being oppressed.
In Rapid City, Jasmine Davis, KOTA Territory News.
This Saturday, June 7th, at the Spring Volksmarch at Crazy Horse Memorial. Admission to the monument is waived with a minimum 3 cans per person donation to the KOTA Care and Share Food Drive. Regular admission rates apply to visitors without food, and there is still a hiker's fee of $4. Registration begins at 7 a.m. This is your chance to experience the 6.2-mile hike up the world's largest mountain carving. You can enjoy the amazing views of the Black Hills and see all the changes to the mountain up close. And thank you for your support of the KOTA Care and Share Food Drive. Again, weather's still looking good to be out there hiking this weekend.
The weather's looking fantastic to go up to Crazy Horse, get the up-close look for it. And yeah, if you support the KOTA Care and Share Food Drive,
it's a lot bigger.
You're helping out, you're getting something out of it. And yeah, it's huge up close.
Absolutely.
It's huge. But let's take a look at the forecast for the Volksmarch. We're seeing mostly sunny skies. Not too much to complain about for the Crazy Horse Volksmarch for this month. The admission is waived if you do bring those 3 cans of non-perishable food items. Temperatures starting off in the 50s, eventually rising into the 70s by the afternoon. So it's going to be a wonderful time to get out there and enjoy it. But temperatures keep warming up as we head into the rest of next week. 88 by Tuesday.
Yay. All right, that'll do it for us. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you tonight at 10.
Thanks for watching KOTA Territory News, your local news and weather authority.